Okay, welcome back, guys. Take a look at my Patreon account or Patron account so I can buy some Patron. No, I don't. But it would be kind of cool to have some Patron sitting here right now. Just sitting at home, have a little Patron. Man, that sounds so good. A little salt, a little lime, maybe a lot of lime. Good stuff. All right, so we're going to do a little transition. Let's go ahead and make that next key that it's only the woods. We'll make that real quick. We're going to kind of see where that transition point is. Yeah, that's cool. Let's jump to 511 on here. 511. There we go. So we're going to jump on into our batch. Let's do this. Duplicate all this. Click on text. So we double clicked on our text here and it actually was in this geometry tab. So that's something that, man, when I was starting off, I was like, what is this thing doing? Why doesn't it just go to, I just want to change the text. Doesn't know what I'm thinking? Come on now. But it doesn't know what you're thinking because it's a computer. Yeah. It is. Yeah. Okay. So double click on that. It just left it on the same tab that I last was on in there. So realizing that, I'm just going to click on text and then I can change that text. So how about we type in the woods for that big bold text. And then this is our thin little text and type in it's only. And then so I can see things a little bit better, I'm going to hide that one by option clicking on the axis, hitting H to hide all that. Let's go ahead and zoom on in here. Grab this axis, slide this on in here. That's looking pretty good. Kind of weird, but that's fine. Okay, so now we're going to do a little transition here. So let's unhide this. Let's line these up a little bit better. We're going to, let's undo that line up because this is actually going to line it up for us. So these are our trackers. You can see all the tracking keyframes in there. They're both locked in and tracked together. Okay, so at that point at what, 511 was it? Okay, there we are. So this is going to be our transition point. Let's zoom out on here a little bit more. I want to create a light to blow this out some, and then we're going to do some twitchy little animation to it to kind of get it to pop to the next thing. So let's go to the node. Let's choose L for light. Bring a light in here. And see how that kind of darkened everything? Whoop. If you don't want it to darken everything, click on it and then go to shading. You can turn off the shading. You can go to scene ambient and that's just going to keep it clear. But I want to have the shading because I want it to actually affect this. To this light, I want to apply, how about, a color corrector? Yeah, let's do a color correct. So that didn't connect up, so I'm just going to click. Oh, that didn't do it either. Oh, come on now. There we go. Go to light box maybe. Oh, look at that. It brought a light in for me. Oh man, it made me look like a fool. Okay, so I just dragged off that other light. Everything went bye-bye. Just got to click active on it. See, so I've been working on Flame for like a year and like it still stumps me with stuff sometimes. It's like, what is going on? So let's walk through that because if you're new to Flame, you're going to be coming across these same exact things. And I remember spending like a good half hour like, why is the scene dark? What happened? And I dropped some F-bombs. So what we did there, let's just kind of back up some. Okay, so here's that light that I dragged in. And while I was connecting, I thought I would just have to connect a matchbox to it, a matchbox color. You know, here's a color correct, but that's not going to connect to the light. It doesn't connect. It does connect, however, to a camera. So that's how I can manipulate the whole camera. But I don't want to manipulate the whole entire scene. I just want to manipulate these graphics here. So I'm going to drag that off. We're going to go back here, going into light box and then color correct. And what that did was connected right to a light. Okay, I must not have had the light selected last time. That makes sense. Okay, cool. Well, that's easy enough. Well, it's a little too dark. We'll take a look at that. Maybe we can take the shading off and let's see what this is going to do here. Oh, let's go to master contrast. Nope. Master gain. Nope. Maybe I have to turn on that shading. Oh, see? Okay. Yep, that's doing it. Okay, but I just wanted to affect these graphics, and that's it. Okay, so we're going to double click on that color corrector, and then we need to do a light link because it's affecting all of the scene right now. This 500. See, it's affecting all the scene. We don't want it to affect all of the scene. So we're going to double click on that, select our tools, and go to what is called a light link. And now this is going to link just the items that we want to actually be affected by this light. And that light is connected to the color corrector. So I click off the like and select by dragging to each of these elements. I'm going to go back to my select tool. And then see how this is now affecting that CG. That's exactly what we want, but we need to see the rest of the scene in the shot too. So right now that light link is just being applied to those, but we need to turn on the scene ambient so we see the shot back behind it. So now if we jump to 511, now we can go ahead and create like this little Strobing effect. So let's go to 100. Whoops, 100, not 0. Go to auto key. We're going to turn that on by hitting a keyframe. So I just clicked on it and then hit enter and go a couple of frames. Let's do 75, kind of drop the color or the brightness of that, the master gain brightness of that down. Go up a frame, do 175, go down, do 120, another frame. How about 2 frames more? Go to 35, drop it down really quite a bit. Another one, let's go up to 300. Another 2 frames, go down to 100. And that should probably be good. So it's just gonna go blink, blink, blink. Okay, so right about in here, we are going to transition from one to the next. So to do so, we're going to double click on the axis of this one that's going out and go to geometry, go to auto key, and we want to ramp its transparency to turn from on to off. So 0% transparency is on, 100 is off. So we're going to do that with both of those. So we're going to do the reverse here. And to advance a frame, I'm using my arrow keys on my keyboard. I'm just going left and right, left and right. So there's that one's on. This one we want to be starting off. I'm going to just do both of those. Go 1 frame, go to 0 to turn that one on, and go to 0 to turn that one on. There we go. So now we have this CG is up. It starts flickering and does that and transitions to the next thing. Let's take a look here. If you click on this little button, that takes us keyframe to keyframe. So that's the beginning of our transition period right there. Now we want this to kind of twitch around, so it's a little bit more chaotic, I guess. So to do so, let's go ahead and just drag that on down there. We're going to grab another axis, and we're going to connect it into there. We're going to label this Twitchy. Twitchy. Aw, it's Twitchy. He's twitchy. They call him Twitchy. Twitchy. Okay. It's going to go in auto key. So double click on Twitchy. Then we're just going to move his position around. So we're just going to add a keyframe because we want him to start right there at the beginning. Let's click on this color corrector that's already already animated so we can go to the end of our animation. Go there, go to Twitchy. Twitchy, where are you? There you are. So we're going to go access 3. So to pull up the keyframes in the little viewer, I held down shift, selected, just clicked on that position. It shows me the keyframes within there. Another way of seeing the keyframes is by shift clicking on your animated property, going into animation, and then that shows you all your keyframes within there. So now we want Twitchy to twitch around. So let's go ahead and advance a couple frames, move him right there. Advance another frame, move him here, another frame, there. Another 2 frames, bump them up here. Another frame, bump them here. Another frame there. There we go. And 2 more to go here and there. And where's that last keyframe? Right there. Okay, cool. Let's just scrub through that. So there we go. There he is. Twitchy. Okay, so now we have a cool little transition of him doing that. So to kind of sell this transition, let's go ahead and add some motion blur to the scene. Okay, so diving a little deeper into applying effects. So we've been applying effects to a light here that is just applied to these CGs. So you can apply it to just certain things within your scene by using light links. You can apply it to your whole entire scene by just applying it directly to the light, and they'll affect the whole entire scene. Another thing that affects the whole entire scene is the camera. So the camera, you can apply color grading effects, motion blur effects, optical effects. There's this one effect that I just love. Oh, the chromatic aberration effect. Freaking love that. That's a really cool way of getting like a nice twitchy little effect going for different scenes and stuff. You know, I'm a big fan of glitch and glitch hop, and you know the whole music scene of it and the whole look of it. So a lot of my edits, like, I'm kind of known for my glitchy type of a thing. I don't know if I quite pioneered it, but man, I sure followed it. So taking a look at this, we've got our camera. We're going to apply a motion blur. So within Matchbox, the stingrays attach directly to the camera. So let's find the stingray motion blur. And then with the camera selected, that attach the motion blur. If you look at the exposure time, we can just leave it at 0.5. You can change that around depending on what you're looking for. If you want to have more of a blur, we can do that. You know, that's looking okay. What if we did like a 0.9? Is that really going to blur it? Oh, see it lay down the auto keyframe for me. I don't want another keyframe. I like to keep my edits nice and neat. That looks okay. What if we put it to 0.2? What does that look like? See, that's just not enough. What if we put it to 5? We'll do that. That's going to be cool. That's going to really blur out nicely. Okay, cool. Let's do that 5. There. Now we have that nice little transition. In the next tutorial, we're going to go through utilizing a deform mesh. Up in the next video, deform meshes. Thanks so much for watching. Please click the subscribe.